Bro, my hotkeys are not working for my mic, bro. This is so whack, bro. Alright, this is gonna be a short one. Okay, bro. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Okay. Should probably stop wasting time and get to it. Huh. Alright. Yeah, it's been like 5 minutes. I'm gonna just watch this first, and I'm gonna play some Roblox Fusion Football.
Many game franchises have multiple entries or...
Boop. Let me just go boop. Let me go boop. Let me go boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. We're good. 10 games that killed the whole franchise.
Many game franchises have multiple entries or sequels, and every so often, one of them comes along and kills off or severely damages an entire franchise. Here are 10 examples of that. Just fair warning, this video is a little bit of a bummer. Let's get started off with number 10 and talk about Medal of Honor. This is a now classic World War II shooter franchise. I mean, it was like kickstarted by freaking Steven Spielberg. From the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, the Medal of Honor games lived a wonderful life. They were incredibly fun, cinematic, first-person shooter war games well before you had a solid Call of Duty campaign or anything like that. Medal of Honor was crushing it with score by Michael Giacchino, who is now famous for doing like superhero movies, to really incredible, still memorable depictions of stuff you'd see in war movies like Saving Private Ryan, like storming the beaches of Normandy. Yeah, Medal of Honor did that, and they crushed it in video game form. From the Pacific Theater to Nazi intrigue, all kinds of stuff, they really had it going on for a while. And then, it seems like when Call of Duty and Battlefield really started to pop off, Medal of Honor kind of fell to the wayside. But around 2010, it's when EA really tried to revitalize things and kick Medal of Honor into the modern age, so to speak, with 2010's Medal of Honor and then 2012's Medal of Honor Warfighter. And the problem with these games is that they were half-assed and just so painfully generic. Now, they had their moments, mind you. Medal of Honor Warfighter, which I do remember reviewing back in the day, not for GameRanks, but somewhere, actually had some surprisingly good driving sections, but otherwise, these modern revamped Medal of Honor games were like totally all style, no substance. On the surface, they looked pretty good, but once you actually got to playing one, there were so many other games just doing this stuff better at the time, and they totally ate Medal of Honor's lunch. 2012 had Medal of Honor Warfighter come and go and quickly be forgotten, and we hadn't heard anything about Medal of Honor since. Then, I mean, to be fair, in 2010, there was Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, the Oculus VR game by Respawn of all people, but that didn't necessarily take off. And after that, and considering this was a pretty expensive VR game to make, we don't know if the Medal of Honor franchise is ever really going to see a resurgence.
They do not need to bring this back.
Nothing is ever really dead. They could bring it back and drag it out in a couple more years and maybe do it right, but for
we're good on Medal of Honor, bro.
Now, Medal of Honor is definitely sleeping with the fishes. Next, over at number 9, there was Ninja Gaiden 3. Oh, man. Do you remember this one? Leading up to
I'm playing the. I don't even know which one it is, bro. I'm playing it on Xbox.
it seemed
Xbox
like it
Game
was gonna
Pass.
be pretty awesome. All those
fun.
cool new weapons, the kind of visual style, the game's cover art, like it just seemed really cool. People were obviously really excited,
This game was
specifically
trash.
because the last two Ninja Gaiden games were great. They were incredibly challenging, really tight games. I mean, we still talk about Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black all the time here if you watch Game Ranks every day. Man, the lead up to Ninja Gaiden 3 was so exciting, and then when this thing dropped in 2012, it got a lot of bad reviews. I famously remember a really crushing one from Giant Bomb where they gave it like a 2 out of 5 stars. Overall, nobody was really happy with it. I remember personally after, it just felt like regular old generic video game stuff, and along with that, the game just lost a lot of its identity. It felt really hand-holdy. A lot of people had billed it as just kind of button mashy and stupid. The game had your typical QuickTime events, which were popular at the time, and just something was really missing. The soul of Ninja Gaiden here wasn't quite right. And again, it's just so jarring because the first two Ninja Gaiden games were so tight. Those were solid video games with challenge,
that's the one
secrets, nuance, and Ninja Gaiden 3 just kind of felt like a cheap clone, a cheap knockoff. Now, they then tried fixing it with the Razor's Edge re-release, but for most people, it was way too little, way too late. And then after that, I mean, are we even gonna get into this? They put out Ninja Gaiden Yaiba, and because like that was even worse. Technically, that wasn't like a main entry in the series, but still, it definitely didn't hurt things. Really, Ninja Gaiden 3 was where a lot of things seemingly died. I still think the original two games, and I mean the classic franchise before it,
they could still bring this back though,
are still good enough that eventually we might see something again, but as of right now, Ninja Gaiden is kind of dead. And it pains me to say that, like it just doesn't feel right. Next, over at number 8, we have Command & Conquer 4, which, if you ask certain people, they say it was kind of the last gasp of a good series. I mean, Command & Conquer as a brand still exists today. They roll it out for certain things, but
Nostalgia
Command
Critic?
& Conquer 4 still exists today. They roll it out for certain things. I mean, Command & Conquer as a brand still exists today. They roll it out for certain things, but Command & Conquer 4 was the last numbered entry, and it wasn't that great. They really kind of changed up the whole resource gathering thing in favor of more like managing and capturing different control points, and it just didn't feel the same, and it seems like it didn't for a lot of people. That being said, it's an okay
This reminds me of
game. If you look at reviews, you know, it's got a lot of 7s across the board. Not a total complete disaster or anything like that, but I feel like there's a lot we can dive into with just like the main Command & Conquer games, how the Red Alert games change things up. Like there's a lot of nuances here, but ultimately the bottom line is that 4 was just 4, and then too many people, the RTS genre started to kind of lose steam, at least with mainstream popularity. They're still out there, people really play them and love them, but they don't quite pop off in terms of mainstream sales like they used to. And I think EA unfortunately realized that they're always the first to bail on stuff, and in this case, they
Spider-Man 2
on Command
on the
& Conquer.
PS5, PlayStation 5.
Next, over at number 7, we have Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2. Now, this released in 2014, and it's actually...
They have a whole show on Netflix.
Technically...
How's the game... How's
like
the franchise dead and they got a whole show on Netflix?
In the series in almost 10 years. And that sucks because they were kind of onto something with the original. I mean, depending on who you ask. It definitely took a lot of stuff and threw it to the wayside from classic Castlevania games. But it was a cool refresh. It was very of the time, kind of a God of War style game, but with cool vampires and the Belmonts and all that stuff you expect. But Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2 kind of took it even further with you playing as Dracula, with you being the bad guy, and that was something that ended up being a cool twist in the first game, and then in the second game it kind of went hokey. It kind of jumped the shark a little bit. There's parts where it's in a modern world, and it just very much was more a video game of the time, a 2014 game, you know, cheesy cutscenes, over-the-top characters, quick time events. I personally like that stuff, but not always for Castlevania, and while it was cute for Lord of Shadows, it was not as good for the second one. It didn't review as well as the first game, and ultimately I think that, coupled with the fact that Konami was just being Konami at the time and really were kind of stepping away from games, that was it. Castlevania, I don't think is dead forever. I think we're going to see more of it soon. I really hope so. I really think it's time for this thing to return full speed ahead, but I guess we're just going to have to wait.
He just said it's going to return, but he named the video Killed the Whole franchise.
Next, over at number 6, we have Dead Rising 4. Now, let's roll the clock back a little bit. The original Dead Rising was revolutionary. It was just so cool and
I
creative
never played this game
and
either.
a really good spin on an almost like George Romero style zombie game with a good Capcom Japanese spin to it. It was creative, it was challenging, it was stress inducing, and it was also technically very impressive. For a lot of people, if you ask some of us, that first game was truly special, and the series never really quite reached the same heights since. It was all downhill. Now, the second one kind of continued the thing, added some things, and it was alright, but then by 3, the game started to lose its identity. So 2016's Dead Rising 4 was supposed to be kind of like the comeback kid. You were once again playing as Frank, the beloved classic character, and it had kind of a shopping mall Christmas time spin. Like, you weren't just in a shopping mall, there was a lot more to it, but still, it seemed like it was going to have some callbacks to the first one and be a good time.
They did.
Unfortunately, though, the game was not received very well at all. Now, full disclosure, I played it, I thought it was alright, I didn't think it was the best in the series, but I certainly didn't hate it by any means. But for most people, they were checked out of the series at this point. I guess completely lost faith. I think that ultimately the bottom line is that they just kept watering down what Dead Rising was from game to game. And by 4, it had really dried up. I mean, it was another open world-ish game in a sea of them when a lot of other games were kicking ass that year. I mean, 2016 was the year that like Hitman started to kind of roll out, the new Hitman. Doom was blowing people away, so Dead Rising just kind of came like a fart in the wind. Ultimately, it seemingly flopped for Capcom, and that's really all we've heard about Dead Rising since. That was 2016. We're pretty far out from that. I expect good old Frank West to be dragged out for something at some point, but not a new mainline game.
2016 is really 7 years ago.
Next, over at number 5, we have Fear 3. Now, let's roll it back again. The original Fear was absolutely revolutionary.
Bro, I've never heard of this game.
Tense, technically impressive first-person shooter with compelling enemies, some challenge, and also just, it was surprisingly scary. It had some really, really good scares to it. Things kind of continued with Fear 2, but at that point, the developer-publisher had really smelled the money, and Fear 3 released in 2011, and really it was a shadow of its former self. If you compare Fear 3 to the first game, it's like being on a different planet. Fear 3 just was very much of the time, a very 2011-ass game with corny cutscenes, weird cheesy characters, dumb over-the-top moments, shoehorned co-op elements that, yeah, you can say that some of those elements were actually kind of creative, but still, it wasn't really what Fear was. And bottom line, it wasn't scary at all. I don't really know what they were thinking with this game, to just go so far in a different direction, and after being like, oh, that's what people like, you just totally flipped the franchise on its head. Okay. It wasn't like a creative risk or anything, it felt totally half-assed. And interestingly enough, the game actually has okay reviews. If you look at the Metacritic, I mean, like, the review scores are okay, and the user scores, the actual fan scores, are much lower. People were really burned by this one, and I don't know if we're gonna see Fear ever again. That was just like a special point in time. Man, that original Fear game is just magic. Now, down to number 4, don't get me started on this one. I take this one extremely personally. It's SimCity. The 2013 game, just simply titled SimCity, was kind of like the harbinger of what was to come with the problems with modern games, and specifically a lot of the stuff that EA pulled. The lead up to SimCity 2013 felt big. The screenshots, the videos, everything coming out, the game looked absolutely massive and incredible, and it seemed like Maxis and EA were really going for it. It was seemingly going to be more dynamic, more detailed, with more zoning, way more options, just a kind of different gameplay style, a whole new engine. And like, critically, at face value, some critics thought it was alright, but unfortunately, once it actually released to mainstream audiences, the game hit a lot of problems. It was technically an absolute mess. It was buggy, it was messy, it was all over the place, and it also was one of the earlier games that were considered always online. And it was a game that you'd pretty much be playing by yourself, but EA wanted you to be connected to the internet. And the problem was, when SimCity launched, there were a bunch of network outages. So it was just kind of like a huge perfect storm disaster. There was tons of crashing, you'd be sitting around waiting for the game to load, to connect to EA servers. People were actually losing their saves, and it was just like a disastrous disastrous launch. If you think modern game release launches are bad, SimCity 2013 really kind of paved the way. This was like an early games as a service game. They wanted you online, they wanted you playing, and they wanted to keep updating the game constantly and keep you playing SimCity forever. And you know what? That's admirable, but it didn't hit. Technically, it was way too early for this type of content delivery, and ultimately other developers showed how to do it right. I mean, the City Skyline games, all their expansions are great. They have a great player base, a community, people that buy into these things because it's done right. SimCity 2013 wasn't. And at this point now, what happened after this one? Technically, a section of Maxis closed down in 2015, and that was cited for the reason. And SimCity now at this point is kind of just reduced to mobile game whateverness. Whateverness? I don't know. That whateverness is SimCity 2013, if you ask us. Next, over at number 3, we have Saints Row. Yeah, the 2022 reboot was a pretty rough game. We reviewed it, we put out a before you buy video, and we were not fans. It was technically an absolute mess, but also it lost so much of the humor and charm that the original games had. Say what you will about them. Some people love them, some people hate them, some people like the early ones, some people like the later ones. But Saints Row 3 tried to make all those people happy and ultimately made none of them happy. The game was absolutely, completely lifeless, devoid of charm. It had a cool city, but the stuff you did in it wasn't very fun. It was glitchy, and all the characters that you hung out with were shockingly annoying. The game very quickly, publicly failed to meet expectations of the holding company, Embracer Group, and after that, Volition, the developers who had been developing the games since the beginning, got absorbed into parts of Gearbox Entertainment. And it's worth pointing out that Saints Row at a point had like a 60 on Metacritic and like a 2.5 on user score. And credit to the developers, they actually supported it post-launch. They put out a little bit of stuff, but ultimately nobody cared. It's such a shame because, like I said, whether you like the early ones, whether you like the later ones when they went totally crazy, the Saints Row games were special. They were cool for a lot of people for a variety of different reasons, and Saints Row 2022 seemingly will quickly be forgotten by most people. Hey, if you had fun with it, that's you. We're not going to judge you, but it doesn't seem like Volition is making another one anytime soon, and they were good developers for a very long time, and it's a shame.
Knocking them down.
Reminds me of that Fast and Furious game.
Okay, back in the set. From here on out, observe and report.
Now, coming down to number 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Yeah, that was the last one.
They're bringing this back. They're bringing this back on me.
When was the last time you thought about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Well, the 6th mainline entry in the series, which was released in 2017, just pissed off a lot of players, and there was just a lot of bad PR floating around about it. I mean, specifically with what we talked about with a lot of games in this video, a lot of the core elements of Marvel vs. Capcom were diluted, watered down, stuff was taken away, and ultimately the game was considered playing it safe. Now, as someone who's not an experienced fighting game fan, I found it kind of just cool to pick up and play and punch some people, but the hardcore fighting game community, man, these games live and die by those people, and if they're not happy, that's it for the game. And that was the case with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Not to mention all the other stuff that they pulled
Marvel vs. Capcom 4 2024. Lock it in.
Microtransaction stuff. I believe a really crappy collector's edition that a lot of people felt they got ripped off. There's a lot to this one in the news cycles, but ultimately the game just kind of came and went. And that's how these go. Are we going to see another Marvel vs. Capcom at any point? I don't know. It seems like
if they're gonna make it, they gotta bring the X-Men
Marvel
back.
is really down to clown with some cool video games again, so maybe, but it has certainly been a while. Marvel vs. Capcom has been dead since Infinite. Now down to number 1, we have Driver 3, or as I like to call it, Driv 3R. Yes, this was the time where we were putting the numbers in the titles of the games and movies. This was very normal at the time, if I'm being totally honest. But still, Driver 3 followed up a pretty fantastic series. The original game was completely unique for the original PlayStation.
I never heard of
Driver 2 kind of introduced some like open world, get out of your car type elements, and they really felt like they were onto something. But after that, the rise of Grand Theft Auto came, and Driver 3 really was kind of chasing at that game's heels. There was a time when we had like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but then also 2004's Driv 3R. And I mean, if you compare the two, yikes. I mean, where Driver is a little bit more realistic and like a little bit more gritty with some cool car mechanics and physics and stuff like that, it was still a total mess. I mean, the shooting, the third person, anytime you were on foot as Tanner, it was totally lame. The game was a technical mess,
I
and a
kind of
lot
want
of
to play
people
this
didn't
game.
really care.
I don't know
and
why,
Grand
bro.
Theft Auto ultimately ate its lunch.
I want to play this. Pause. Okay. Oops.
Really underrated Driver San Francisco, but nothing really reached the height.
I'm back.
Technical mess. Like, if you go back and play it now, it's like unplayable
Okay.
almost. Now, to be fair, the Driver series did continue after this. We had the great Driver game that like took place in the 70s. We had the really underrated Driver San Francisco, but nothing really reached the height of those original Driver games. And Driver 3 kind of kicked off what would be a very, very slow, years-long decline, to the point where now we're probably not going to see anything from Driver ever again. Again, I want to point out, Driver San Francisco is very cool. It is totally different. They changed up the series, but it's a unique driving game that you should still consider checking out. And you should especially check it out because it might be the last Driver game. So those are some games that killed whole video game franchises, at least in some way, shape, or form. Now,
I don't think any game franchise is ever really dead, because they could always bring it back. Except Duke Nukem, for real. But whatever. I'm about to get on Roblox now. That was a good video. It's Roblox time, though. Football Fusion. Hold on. Bro, it's getting me mad. Okay. Just let me in. This is not going as planned. It should not take this long to get into a Roblox game. Dude, why is Roblox broken? Okay. I'm in. Okay, let's see, 34-54. This is winnable. I gotta turn down my stream delay in the future. 20-second delay is too much. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow when I get off school. I'm about to build myself TV. Okay, let's go. Oh, brother. He's literally playing with us. Dude had the nerve to say whoops. Bro. Okay. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. That's way too far. Nope. Nice, nice. That's all me for real. Even though I didn't get the pick, that's all me. They gotta let me be QB. Yep. Yo, team is saved, bro. Team is saved. Don't worry. Now that I'm QB. Oh no. Ugh. Okay. I don't know what happened. I think I missed. I don't know, bro. I think I missed clicks. Yeah, we're back though. We're back. I think it kicked me out of that game and put me in a different game or something, bro. It's weird. I don't know why I did that. Okay. I was playing this game. I was cooking, bro. I was cooking, bro. I'm just not good on stream. Okay, bro. Mossed by my own teammate. This dude is garbage. Oh my gosh, bro. Yo. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this. I'm not even trying to stream that long. I just gotta get QB. Okay. I'm gonna try this lobby first. Well, I'm on the Saints? Thought I was on the Raiders. Raiders got cooked today by my Lions. Oh. Nice. What was the score? 26, hold on. 26-14. Good game. Come here, monkey. Oh my gosh. He's gone. Wow. That's all me. That's all me. Good stuff. Get the flip-flop. Fit in my socks. The big flop. Tommy fishing off of the top. Put a 6 out. Winning time. Dropping the knot. Check the wrist watch. Uh-oh. I stopped paying attention. Okay. We're back. I might have to switch lobbies. This lobby's not giving. It's not moving me. Okay, I'm switching lobbies after this possession. Unless I get a pick or something. That's my head. That's mine. Good effort. Good effort. JPR. 1-1-1-1. 2-2-2. Good effort. Are you serious? Oh, okay. Okay. One more lobby. That was a bad lobby, bro. There's nothing I could do there. We're up. I'm not. No. Switch your flip flop. It's in my socks. It's a big flop. Perfect. 36-6. They're gonna let me be quarterback. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ah! Shoot. This is the perfect lobby. They're literally, okay, bro. You guys didn't see that? Wow. Pick that. Nice. Okay, we got this, team. We got this. Oh my gosh. We don't got this. Pass it. Pass it. Oh my gosh, bro. Yo. That's tough. If I got to the ball first, that wouldn't have happened. But whatever. It's cool. I'm trying to bait him to pass to the corner. It's not working. Nice. I got my team, bro. I got my team. What is this? There's no way this game is sponsored by Walmart, bro. Stop. No. Yo. How is... I'm tripping, right? I'm tripping. Yo, he's getting... He's literally... He's getting easy touchdowns because... Okay, bro. This is so corny. Not getting past me though. That's all me. I forced him back right. I forced him back right, so we had no choice. Take that. I think we should not put the trash in it. It's cash. Let's see. Let me die on my word. Okay, that's cool. It's cool. Remember, it's not about winning. It's about my personal success. That's what this is all about. Bro. I hate this guy, bro. This guy's ruining my mood. I gotta get this. I gotta get this. Give me that. Ah! I'm a hawk. Fuck. Did not mean to say that. Stream might get deleted. Yo, he's so corny, bro. He called a timeout. So, yo, is he serious? Yo, if people actually vote him, oh, yo, he can't. Who made him captain? This is mine. Nice. That's all me. Get up. Get up. Okay. Dang it. At least I completed the pass. Right here. Right here. What is that? Alright, I gotta go to sleep, bro. Yeah. Alright, bro. I'm gonna just leave the stream on for a second so it gets to an hour. That's my OCD. Things of that nature. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna stream. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm gonna stream early tomorrow so I can stream longer. I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch scary short films for Halloween. But yeah, that's it, really. I'm just leave the stream on so it gets to an hour though. Alright,